During the week just past, a pleasant surprise dawned upon all of us Zelda fans. Hyrule Warriors: The Age of Calamity. Most of us are aware of the Wii U seller named Hyrule Warriors. The game eventually came to 3DS and Switch. Notably, the version on Switch was known as the definitive version and included all of the DLC seen in the first game. Well, Age of Calamity breaks down the formulas seen in the first Hyrule Warriors game. The first game was outed as not being canonical, whereas Age of Calamity is set in a mid-apocalyptic Hyrule, just moments before and in between Calamity Ganon rising from the depths of Hyrule Castle. As an aside, the Hyrule Castle we've seen in Age of Calamity looks nothing short of amazing. It really is a sight to behold. I can only imagine how amazing the inside of the castle would look. Well, actually, on that note, let's talk about the point of this video. During the reveal of Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, one of the biggest pieces of information we got that I've seen a lot of people skip over is the fact that the series producer Aoji Onuma said himself that the Age of Calamity would be the only game that you can experience a pre-apocalyptic Hyrule, with old structures all being rebuilt. And that got me thinking, and then I realised that a lot of theories that have gone around booked on the idea that we could see a pre-apocalyptic Hyrule in the sequel to Breath of the Wild. In fact, my video last week with Ace Monkey talked about how we could be going back in time, and with Aonuma's quote, those theories have gone in the bin. This is going to change up how Breath of the Wild 2 theories are approached in a giant way in the future. It is possible that people will still believe them, and that, we could be time travelling in the next game by simply believing that instead of travelling back in time, we could be travelling forward in time. So the Hero of Wilds can look into the future, though I don't really see it happening personally. But more power to you if you do believe a theory like that. So in general, after looking at the trailer, really how many credible theories have gone down the drain? Well, quite a lot. In fact, I'm willing to bet that if there's a second sort of world in Breath of the Wild sequel, it won't have anything to do with the overworld. After confirmation of Age of Calamity being the only pre-Calamity game, it makes pretty much every single theory discussing an underworld 7,000 times more likely and way more believable. Even on my own channel, I've discussed the time travelling way too much. It even turned into a little meme on the channel at one point because I'd always discuss the time travelling side of theories. But now I'm going to be booking in on the idea of the other theories being way more likely. In retrospect, I actually don't know why we all thought it could be going back in time. Sure, there were no Sheikah structures or anything in the Breath of the Wild 2 teaser, but wouldn't that still make no sense? I mean, Sheikah shrines especially were still seen around the world in the memories we've seen in Breath of the Wild. But either way, you didn't come into this video just to hear me rambling on about one particular theory. So, are there any other theories that have been crushed by Age of Calamity? The answer is yes. As we've discussed, the new Warriors game has changed a number of Breath of the Wild 2 theories. Well, what if I told you that the game could actually finish a ton of theories that people made about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild itself? In fact, one of the only issues that people seem to have with the new game is that it could retcon some of the things shown and told in Breath of the Wild's memory system. Which means that some of the things that we now know as Zelda lore could in fact change. One of the biggest things I actually found an issue with was the fact that the killing blow to Revali seems to be done by a purple laser. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm almost certain that no purple lasers were seen in Breath of the Wild. And Revali's killing blow was dealt by Windblight Ganon himself, and obviously the Blight Ganons and Guardians used blue lasers. But perhaps I'm reading way too much into that myself, and it's just there to look a bit more cinematic. But it just confuses me since we're pretty certain that Age of Calamity is canon. In fact, Aonuma himself first discussed doing a pre-Calamity Hyrule Warriors game with Koei Tecmo Games, and it was even stated that Age of Calamity was worked closely with the Zelda team, and that's evident just to how amazing the graphics and pre-rendered cutscenes look. So why would the game not be canon? To be completely honest with you, I have no idea, but let's get back on topic. I'm almost certain that we could see millions of new theories brought up when Age of Calamity actually releases. That means that you could see a lot more YouTubers actually popping up in general. It could change YouTube, not just, the actual next game. And you know that I'll be there talking about my own theories when the game does actually eventually release. But since I haven't got to talk to you guys about my initial feelings on Age of Calamity, let me talk about the game just a little bit. My script ends here, so everything past this point is my 100% actual thoughts on the new game. So here's a quick talk about it. I really loved Hyrule Warriors, as in the first one, the one on the Switch, the Wii U, and the 3DS. I thought that the gameplay was amazing, and genuinely, you can check my Switch account. I believe I have about 40 hours in the game, 30 hours, and I feel like I could easily sink 100 into the game. That's the reason why I don't play it that much, because I know that I would be able to easily sink my teeth into that game so much. And to be honest, the grindy nature of it kind of does fit this kind of like Zelda lore side. And in fact, actually, quickly on the theory that I was talking about earlier, I actually said myself not long ago that we could see Ganon having a massive like fight with Hylians in the next game, which is kind of funny to look back on now. It was in my Gerudo Desert video. But it's kind of funny to look back on since we are basically getting that. Ganon is the leader and will be against Yiga and monsters. So that's kind of funny, to be honest. The game itself genuinely looks amazing. I remember I saw the trailer and I kind of expected nothing. I expected, you know, I actually don't know why though. I actually don't know, wait. I actually don't know why I expected nothing now I'm thinking about it. But I kind of just didn't see the title Hyrule Warriors, so I just kind of went in thinking, it'll be something about 100 years ago. I have no clue what, but it'll be something about it. And turns out, the game genuinely looks amazing. I remember it pans over past some structures that we see in Breath of the Wild, and it goes to these pillars that are actually broken in game that I've seen a few YouTubers talk about. So that's really cool to see, you know, actual areas in the game restructured and stuff. The gameplay itself, I'm not sure if it's going to fit too well with Breath of the Wild's graphics in general, actually, its art style in general. But I am really eager to check out the game. I will be doing some videos on it, but not that many. I'm going to be talking about a different way that you can see my opinion on the actual game when it releases and stuff in the next bit of the video that's about to start in a minute. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little rant on about it. If you have any questions about how I feel about Age of Calamity, then please do leave them in the comments. I don't feel like I've discussed nearly enough about the game. So if you want to ask me anything in the comments, then please do. I respond to everyone as long as it's respondable. And yeah, let's get into the outro. Perhaps everything I said in this video is wrong and the Zelda team is actually creating a past Hyrule right now and all of those other past theories are completely true. But we shall have to wait for Breath of the Wild 2's release. But I will say that Age of Calamity is going to be an amazing game to fill in the gap between Breath of the Wild 2 news and now. And I'm so happy about it actually being a real thing. I actually had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming when I first saw it. I'll also be doing a reaction video on the 26th when a new video discussing the game on Nintendo's channel comes out, like it's been discussed. So please keep in the loop and subscribe for more weekly Zelda content, where I'll discuss theories and more. And also like the video if you've enjoyed. Please go and follow my Twitch now, the link's in the description and the name is on screen right now. I hope to stream the Mario collection next week, so make sure to check it out. As usual, go and check out my social medias on screen and donate to my Patreon if you can and want to. Link in the description. With all of that said, I'll see you all next week for another Zelda video. Stay safe and goodbye.